Dave here with Half Dozen Customs. So I'm into the trunk. I cleaned out the parts that I had in here. I just had the door panels in here and a box of nuts and bolts that I've removed from the car and bagged up. So I cleaned all that out of here. I removed the trunk lid. The shocks are no good on it anymore, and that trunk lid was heavier than you know what. And for years, as long as my wife has owned this car, she's always had a pole in the trunk to hold up the trunk lid. It was heavier than heck, and I did not want to bump that pole while I'm back here working and have that thing fall on me. It'd take me out. I'd be stuck in there. So I got that removed. And I've been assessing the situation here in the rear of the trunk. It does look like where I'm gonna have to cut out and figure out more of the situation, whether or not stuff can be saved or if I have to make some new stuff, is right where the gas tank is. So I know there's not much gas in here. It was empty about a year ago when I moved it here. And I did put some gas in here, and I did a bunch of work under the hood and replaced a bunch of stuff, and I did get it running. And it runs and drives beautifully. So, well, it doesn't stop. I can't say it drives beautifully. It doesn't stop. It doesn't have brakes. But I know there's not much gas in there. I only put like a gallon or two in there to get it started. So I'm going to remove the tank before I start cutting out any of this trunk area. And like I said, there's really only one bad spot in the trunk. I do see some other areas that may need a small patch. Definitely some sandblasting. There is one area over by the wheel tub over there that is filled with house caulk. So until I get that house caulk out of there, I don't really know what's going on. I don't see rust around the house caulk, but there's got to be a reason that they put that house caulk there. So it's probably going to need to be a little bit of work done over there. But all in all, the trunk's in pretty good shape other than this corner. The body mount is missing up here by the wheel well. But back here by the tail light, it's all there and it's intact. But the floor is routed all the way back there. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is dropping the gas tank, cutting this floor out where I know it's bad so that I can see this body mount back here, get it lubed up, maybe get some heat on it, and get that body bolt out of there. So when I go to lift up on this car, because I got to lift up on it to make a repair back here and under the seat. When I lift up, I don't want this back bolt holding the car down. So I'd like to get that bolt out, but I'm not going to pull it out until I get the floor cut out and assess the situation some more. But here, let me kind of show you what's going on in the trunk. I don't think it's that bad, but I'll show you. So lots of house caulk in there. You can see the quarter is gone. You can see all the way to the garage floor through there. I'll be dropping the camera now. So for some odd reason, they have a line of house caulk here. My guess is that they had a piece of sheet metal over this at one point in time. It might have actually been there and I pulled it out. I don't remember though. But I have a feeling that that line of house caulk right there was holding down a piece of metal at one point in time. I'm actually going to cut just on the other side of this body line and cut it straight up because that looks like it's good metal all the way from the tail light back here all the way up to the rear end hump in the back of the floor. So I will cut along there and I will replace from that line that way. I will use my plenishing hammer and I will put that line back in the new floor. I'll probably put another line up there, try and make it look factory. I don't know what the factory one looked like, but you can see that body mount right there is no longer attached to anything. I still have the top piece of it. It was laying there, so but this is a main structure piece of the car that runs right here, and it looks to me like it's just rotted out around that body mount. So I'm gonna get it all cleaned out, see how bad it is, maybe hit it with the sandblaster, and then just make a repair where the body mount is. But we will see once I get it out and all cleaned up. But the gas tank is right under here, and I don't want to cut that floor with the gas tank in there. So that will be the next thing, is removing the gas tank. I did put some lube on the bolts, some good old PB blaster. So those are soaking right now. So it does go up into the wheel well area a little bit there. So I will cut up to that line. That is a factory line that overlaps. It's caulked. I'll remove that caulk. We'll get it all sandblasted up and cleaned up. I will cut up to that line and weld over. Then when I reseam seal it, it'll be as good as new. So I do see a little bit right here. That's the patch that I was talking about. There's actually one on the other side of that too. It looks like there's something under the floor that is welded to that. I don't know if those are the shock mount areas. I believe they are. So I'm going to have to cut that out, weld in some new metal there. I don't want no shocks coming through my trunk floor. So, and then it goes all the way back to the tail light here. Here's the tail light section. This is where the tail light bolts in right here. So it goes pretty much all the way to the back. So I'll cut all the way back here and all the way forward and replace all that. That other body mount is underneath that rust hole right there. So when I cut that out, I'll be able to get that other body mount unbolted. So, and then there is some house caulk down here. This is a plate that comes out. You know, I know in a lot of vehicles you can pull that plate out and there is a fuel pump underneath there. There is nothing under there for that plate to be there, so I don't know if that was just for factory purposes on the building line or whatnot, but somebody put some house caulk around it for some reason. Here is the spare tire hole. Somebody put house caulk around here too, goes all the way around for whatever reason. The only damage in there is that it's not rotted out. It was hit from the bottom and smashed up. I know the wife was a crazy driver back when she was younger and jumping railroad tracks and stuff. So car bottomed out or hit a rock or something and really smashed that up. So I will beat that back down into place. And then here is the little bit of caulk that I said is around the wheel well on the passenger side. Like I said, it doesn't look all rusty there, so I don't know what that house caulk is doing there. Whoever did this work on this car with putting these floor patches in, they really liked this house caulk. It was everywhere. So so that's it about with the trunk. Like I said, it's for the most part, it's pretty clean compared to the floor. I mean, it's pretty clean and solid other than that corner, really. So that's the next thing. Let's get this gas tank out of there so I can start cutting that open and get this body mount situated so I can continue on with the floor of the car. All right. Thanks for joining us. I'm out.